Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bolaji, and if you are new around here, this is Regi School of Fashion. A couple of months ago, I released a video on how to make a female CNS garment, popularly known as Aso Adura, which we covered the drafting part of the process. And in today's video, I will be walking you through the process of cutting out the fabrics using the pattern we drafted and how to put the pieces together to make a beautiful CNS garment. And in case you haven't seen the previous videos of this tutorial, kindly check the description area below for the link to the videos. Also, you can let ads run while watching without skipping. Doing this helps me get resources to keep publishing videos and improve the quality of my output. Please don't skip ads. With that being said, let's get started. In constructing a female CNS garment, I have my fabrics laid on my table. I have my patterns here, the front and the back, and here is the applique I will be using in decorating my garments. So this is the front panel of my pattern and this is the back panel. These are the patterns we drafted in the previous episode. So if you are yet to watch the video, kindly check the description area below for the link to the tutorial in order to catch up with us with this particular one. Okay, so this is the design we have for the front. As you can see, we have two pleats on the front panel. So two pleats is going to be on the left hand side and two pleats on the right hand side. So I will start cutting with the front panel. For those of you that have watched the previous part of this tutorial, when I was drafting the front panel, I folded my pleats. So I have it like so on my pattern. So before cutting out my fabrics, I will need to open up my pleats. So I will open up my pleats and spread my pattern properly. So now you can see what I have. What I have now is wider than what I have earlier. So the next step is to pin my pattern together with my fabrics. So on this pattern, I don't need to add any seam allowance. I have all my seam allowances added. I have my 1/2 inch added on the shoulder line, 1/2 inch on the armhole, 1 inch by the side, and I've added my hem allowance as well. So the only thing I need to do is, after pinning this together, I'll go ahead and cut it out. So guys, now I have my pattern pinned together with my fabrics. So this part is my center front and the fabrics is on fold. You can see. So this is going to be an open side, which is a side seam. So when I'm cutting, I'm going to follow the exact shape I have on my pattern, so that by the time I'm pleating, I will have a perfect measurement or perfect shape for the shoulder line. So I will start cutting from the neckline. So now I have my fabrics cut out, as you can see. So the next step is to place notches on the appropriate places, most especially the part that has pleats. So I will start placing my notches on the pleat point. Okay, and with the help of the folding I have on my pattern already, I can easily locate the pleat point. You can see I have the line showing on my pattern. So I will place a notch here. Notching means cutting a little. So what you'll be cutting must not be up to your seam allowance. It must be lesser than your seam allowance. So this is just to know the exact point where the pleat falls. So this has to be done before separating your pattern from your fabrics. So then I will place a notch on the chest line, the bust line, empire level, and the waist. Then on the hemline, I will place a notch on the exact point where the garment length stops. So guys, now it's time to cut out the back panel. I have my pattern pinned together with my fabrics, as you can see, and I have my fabrics on fold. Okay, so this part is the center back and this part is the folded side of my fabrics. Okay, so when I was drafting this pattern, if you can recall, I added extra 2 inches on the center back, and I told you guys the 2 inches is going to serve as my zipper allowance and vent allowance. So that is a vent that will create room for free movement at the back of the garment. And at the part where the zipper is going to fall, I shaped the part in order to remove the zipper bulge at the back of my garment. So that is why you are seeing the edges of this part of my pattern not falling on the edges of my fabrics. So that is because I've shaped this part. So if I'm ready to cut now, I will be cutting this part opened. Every part that does not fall on the edges of the fabrics, I will cut it open like so until I get to the point where the edges of the fabrics and the pattern are lined properly. And on my back panel as well, I have all my seam allowances added. I have half of an inch on the neckline, half of an inch on the shoulder line, half of an inch on the armhole, and 1 inch by the side, and I added my hem allowance as well. So now I can proceed in cutting out my fabrics. So from my neckline point downward to somewhere below the waist level is not going to be on fold. So guys, now I have the back panel cut out, as you can see. So after cutting this out, I placed notches on the appropriate places. On the zipper allowance, I placed my notch, so which is a 2 inches point, and on the hemline as well, I placed my notches. So on the chest level, on the bust level, and the waist level, I placed notches as well. So I can proceed in separating my pattern from my fabrics, both the front and the back panels. So for the front panel, I also placed my notches on the hemline in order to locate the pleat point. So guys, now I have my pattern separated from my fabrics, so I can go into the construction proper. So I will start the construction from the back panel. So I'll put my front panel aside and work on the back panel first. In constructing the back panel of my C&S garment, I will be working on the pleat allowance I have at the center back. The allowance I inserted on the center back is 2 inches, which I told you is going to serve as the pleat allowance and the zipper allowance. So guys, I will be marking out 2 inches on the center back. So I will mark from the neckline downward to the point where my zipper will stop. The zipper has to stop below the waist level. Okay, it can be about 2 to 3 inches below the waist level, or you can stop it exactly on the hip level. I have the waist point notch here, so from the notch point I will measure 5 inches downward. So if you like, you can insert your hip level, so that is the distance between the waist and the hip, and make your zipper to stop exactly on the hip level. It all depends on you. So I will take this to my sewing machine now, and I will be stitching on the 2 inches point I marked out, starting from the neckline downward to the point below the point where the zipper will stop. So this is where I want my zipper to stop. So I will make this 2 inches below the zipper point. Like so. So I will stitch from the neckline to this point. So when I'm ready to attach the zipper, this is where the zipper will stop. So guys, now I have this stitched. As you can see, I stitched from the neckline up to the 2 inches point below the zipper point. So the next step is to open up the back panel like so. So I'm turning this upside down. Now the hemline is towards the side. So now the next step is to take this to my ironing board, and I will be pleating the remaining 2 inches I have for this part, which I did not stitch. So that is 2 inches for this side and 2 inches for this side. So which is exactly what I will be doing right now. So I will pleat this like so, and I will pleat this on the other side, and the 2 pleating will be facing each other. Okay, so I'm pleating this on the right side. So I'm going to pleat this in such a way the seam line I have here falls exactly at the center. So now I'm taking this to my ironing board and I will be giving it a press. So after which I will be back to show you the next step.